He is the star of one of the highest-grossing films in history. He is engaged to one of the most famous women on the planet. He has everything Hollywood can give a person.
And in 2023, he walked away from all of it and said he needed to stop.
Not because of a scandal, not because of a breakdown caught on camera, not because the press forced him out.
He chose to leave, at the peak of everything.
And that decision says more about who Tom Holland really is than any Spider-Man interview ever could.
But before we get to that, we need to talk about something that almost nobody mentions when they talk about Tom Holland.
The bullying, the ballet lessons, and the diagnosis that his teachers said would hold him back forever.
Stay until the end, because the last part of this story is the one that changes how you see everything that came before it.
Tom Holland was born in 1996 in Kingston-upon-Thames, southwest London. His father was a stand-up comedian. His mother was a photographer. 4 boys in the house, a creative family with not a lot of money to spare.
At 7 years old, Tom was diagnosed with dyslexia. Reading was genuinely difficult. School was a struggle. His parents moved him to a different school to get him the support he needed. That decision cost them.
And then, at 9 years old, something happened that would have embarrassed most boys his age.
He joined a hip-hop dance class.
And a choreographer named Lynn Page walked in one day, watched him move, and told him he should audition for Billy Elliot the musical.
For anyone who does not know, Billy Elliot is the story of a working-class boy who secretly trains to be a ballet dancer while everyone around him says it is wrong. It is a story about doing what you love when the world tells you to stop.
Tom spent 2 years learning classical ballet in London as a 10-year-old boy.
He was bullied for it. He has said this directly, being the kid who did ballet when that was not what boys were supposed to do.
But here's what makes Tom Holland different from most people.
He kept going anyway.
In 2008, at 12 years old, he made his West End debut in Billy Elliot the Musical, one of the most prestigious theater productions in the country, performing every night in front of thousands of people while his classmates were doing homework.
And when that chapter ended, he auditioned for a film called The Impossible, a disaster film about the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. He got the role. He was 16.
His performance alongside Naomi Watts and Ewan McGregor was so powerful that critics were calling for him to receive an Oscar nomination.
He was 16 years old. First film role, Oscar conversation.
And then came the call that changed everything.
Marvel and Sony were looking for a new Spider-Man, younger, someone who actually looked like a teenager. Tom Holland auditioned, and he got it.
A dyslexic kid from Kingston-upon-Thames who had been bullied for doing ballet was going to be Spider-Man.
But here's what nobody talks about when they tell that story.
Tom Holland was 19 years old when he put on that suit for the first time. 19, and he didn't take it off for almost a decade.
Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, Avengers Infinity War, Endgame, Far From Home, No Way Home.
No Way Home made nearly $2 billion at the box office, one of the highest-grossing films in cinema history.
And here's the question nobody was asking while all of that was happening.
What does it actually cost to be Spider-Man from 19 to 29?
Because while the films were breaking records, something else was happening behind the scenes that Tom kept extremely private for years.
He had met Zendaya on the set of the first Spider-Man film in 2016. They played love interests on screen, and for 5 years they denied being anything more than friends off-screen.
5 years, while working together, while doing press tours together, while being photographed together constantly. In July 2021, a paparazzi caught them kissing in a car in Los Angeles. The photos went everywhere in hours. 5 years of privacy, gone in one afternoon.
Tom's response to that moment was one of the most honest things any celebrity has said about fame in years. He said that one of the downsides of their fame is that privacy is not really in their control anymore. That a moment you think belongs only to 2 people who love each other is suddenly a moment shared with the entire world.
5 years of protecting something real, and it took one photographer one afternoon to take that away.
But that wasn't the moment that almost broke him.
In 2023, Tom took on a role unlike anything he had done before, a limited series called The Crowded Room on Apple TV+. He played a character based on Billy Milligan, the first person in American legal history acquitted of a crime by reason of having multiple personalities.
The preparation was brutal. The emotional demands were unlike anything he had experienced in 10 years of professional acting.
And when it was over, Tom said something that stopped people in their tracks.
He said the show had made him want to quit, that he needed to take a year away from acting, that the experience had affected him in ways he was still trying to understand.
This is not something you hear from the star of the biggest franchise in cinema history.
You don't walk away from Spider-Man money. You don't walk away from Marvel. You don't say publicly that a television show almost broke you, unless it actually did.
He took the time. He stepped back. He talked openly about protecting his mental health, about what it means to grow up entirely inside a franchise while the whole world watches.
And then, between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2024, he proposed to Zendaya at her family's home. No public spectacle, no staged moment for the cameras. He had asked her father for permission. He had the ring. She said yes.
She wore it to the Golden Globes in January 2025. The internet reacted exactly as you would expect.
And now, Spider-Man Brand New Day is filmed. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is coming. Avengers Doomsday is on the horizon. Tom Holland is 29 years old. He's been working professionally for 17 years. He's been Spider-Man for a decade. He said he needed to stop, and he actually stopped.
And here's the question this entire story has been building toward.
Is Tom Holland one of the most genuinely grounded young stars in Hollywood right now? The dyslexic kid who did ballet and got bullied and kept going anyway, who protected his relationship for 5 years because he understood that some things are worth more than publicity, who looked at what fame was doing to him and chose to walk away before it got worse.
Or is the perfect managed image, the quiet engagement, the vulnerability about mental health, all part of a very carefully constructed brand strategy designed to make him look different from every other Hollywood star?
Because in 2026, admitting you needed to take a break for your mental health is not controversial. It's actually very good for your public image. So the question is whether Tom Holland said it because it was true, or because he knew exactly how it would land.
I think it was true, but I also think he knew exactly how it would land.
And maybe that's the most honest thing you can say about anyone who has survived Hollywood from the age of 9.
So I want to know what you think. Is Tom Holland the most genuinely grounded young star in Hollywood right now? Or is The Perfect Image just another performance?
Leave your answer in the comments and send this to someone who has a strong opinion about him. Because people either love this guy completely or they find the whole thing a little too perfect.
Subscribe to the channel. Every week we tell the real stories in natural English. No textbooks, no grammar exercises, just stories worth talking about.
See you next episode.